Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Time for another round of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Let's hit play. I'm going to give myself a few minutes per round this time and we'll see how we do. This should be one for Famous Places Fridays, of course. Okay, well we're on the corner of Duke Street and... can't read that. McGarve Street maybe? It looks like a lovely sort of town. Beautiful... wood board houses and so on, and this feels like the States, doesn't it? So I wonder what we can find there. Royal Bank, that says RBC, so Royal Bank of Canada maybe, in which case we might very well be in Canada, of course. Let's see what this says here. Dockside Restaurant and Inn, Old Town Restaurant, the Flying Bridge Lounge. Dockside. I guess dockside, means we could see the water there earlier, so that would make sense. All the touristy shops here. The Gale Patriarchy Gallery. These are not Netherlands flags. I think those are just open signs. They sort of look like the Netherlands flags or Luxembourg. CIBC, I think that's another Canadian bank, so makes sense. I wonder what's just up here. I'm just looking at this building with a dome on it. It's got some writing on the side. So possibly a clue there. Oldie Post Centre. No, maybe not. So definitely Canada. Not sure if we can really go by where the sea is here because we can't really see it. It's clearly the ocean, I think, there. We've got sailing boats and all sorts. It's to the south, but that could put us on the east or the west coast. Oh, hang on. It says there, Nova Scotia. So we know we are on the eastern coast of Canada. And yes, we've got a Canadian flag there hanging underneath the subway logo. So that will help. We know we're in Nova Scotia then. So with a minute to go, that might be as close as we get, but would be good to, maybe the best thing to do is to get in there and just look at the sort of major towns and see what's in Nova Scotia, because this is clearly a reasonably sized town. Where is Nova Scotia? Here it is. And we could be, for example, in Halifax. Would be curious maybe to see. Yes, that would put us, the sea there, or the river that we were looking at to the north. Art Gallery of Nova Scotia. This makes sense. We're looking at a few sort of parallel streets. And I think, did we see Hollis as the first one there? Just going to go back to the beginning. No, it wasn't. It was Duke, wasn't it? And I wonder if this will just... Duke and Montague. If we can see Montague, we're in business. And I can't, unfortunately. And look at that. We weren't in Halifax. Where were we? Would have needed a bit more time there to find the name of the town, and I'm sure we could have done it. We were in Lunenburg, which I don't recognize the name of, if I'm honest. But, certainly should. It's a beautiful place. And that makes sense. The water there was to our south, so perhaps I was getting a bit confused. I did say south, actually, earlier, didn't I? So, was wrong there. Yes, that's right. As we were looking, the water was to our south, and I commented that it could have been on the east or west coast. So forgot that fact. Whoops. But we were in the right neck of the woods, shall we say. And so that puts us not too far away. Very good. Certainly a beautiful region in the world. Now look at this. This is interesting here. We've got here a flag. Now what flag is that? That is a tough one. I don't know off the top of my head as well, which is a bit worrying. It's not Pakistan, although it does sort of look Pakistani-esque. This is definitely somewhere... Oh dear, I'm not... Possibly, it's not the Lebanese flag. I don't think it's the Jordanian flag, but it's possibly the Iraqi flag. I don't know. Let me have another look at it. We've got half and half green, half white with a red cross. Look at these gentlemen here with their rifles and on their horses. Isn't that just fantastic? I mean, look at all the decoration there and the clothes that they're wearing and all sorts. What a fantastic thing. We're clearly in the middle of some parade here. I'm just thinking Arabic speaking. Let's see what we can find. The flag should be a dead giveaway, of course. But we can work on it. Of course, there's options in Africa as well. I can't get out of this. This is a sort of biodome. Biodome, photodome is what I mean. And I cannot sort of escape from it. So in that sense, we are stuck with what we've got. We can look at the name, of course, as well. Lakhar Warani. Don't know. Just this flag is bugging me. Options in Africa are, Libya, maybe, Tunisia, Algeria. It's not Egypt. It's not Morocco. We are possibly in Algeria. I just don't think it's... The Egyptian flag is red and black. The Tunisian one is all red, I think. I might be getting those mixed up. Let's just see the signs and see if we can see anything on these signs. Really should know my flags better by now. Keep begging for flags, and when they come up, we're not using them. I suspect, just looking at the people and the buildings as well, that we might be in Africa. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense. So I think I'm going to put a bet in Algeria, basically. It is a bet. And for some reason, again, just a sixth sense, I don't think we're on the coast, although I might be wrong. So, Algiers, don't think so. This looks more inland. And again, just going by the type of building and so on. So I've gone for this one here, which just stood out. Biskra. I've never heard of Biskra before, but it's possibly, a site there. So going for the middle. Oh, and would you look at that? Yes, it is Algeria. Fantastic. Okay, well, I'm definitely going to remember that now. Algeria is half green and white with a red crescent. But we were in... Where were we? Gardea. So we were right about being a bit more inland as well, which is great. Okay, good stuff. Next location. This looks sort of Southern European. Yes, we've got the Euro logo there on the side of the cars. What do we have writing-wise? Definitely some Hebrew, this looks like to me. So that could put us in Israel. Looks like we're in a pretty major town here. Big skyscraper here, for example. So, of apartments and so on. So I wonder if there's any indication as to the street that we're on or the town that we're in. I'm just going to sort of move around a lot. I couldn't move around a lot in the last one. So going to sort of keep going until we get to... Look, this is a pretty big junction here now. Oh, we're on some guy's bike. Or the Geo van ran into some guy's bike. What do we have here? Looking into the distance, this is south. Not much there in the way of any indication. We're definitely in Israel. There was the .co.il URL there. Israel sort of coast is always to the west, so that would be behind us. And again, the town there. So, well, we know the country. I think I'm just going to sort of try and progress and see if there's any indication as to the town. What's on the side of this bus, for example? What does this say? We've got 1 minute and 22 to go, so at some point we'll just put a guess down. I'm relying on GeoGuessr to turn here a little bit. Please turn. And there's nothing on the side of that bus of interest, unfortunately. Any signs at this intersection? Going for signs. No, it doesn't seem... Oh, this is maybe in English. Mare de Chai. Any address here that isn't in Hebrew? Unfortunately not. Okay. We'll go one more. Let's see if we can see anything. There's maybe possibly some sign. Oh no, just the pedestrian. Ah, yes, here's a sign. Very good. Excellent. I'm going to probably go for Tel Aviv. Don't know why. It's just a big town that I'm familiar with. It feels like we're on the coast here. I don't recognize those names. Yes, that's right. We were in the right place. Oh, what a good guess. If I'd have zoomed in a little earlier, we could have maybe found... There was a sign there for a square. Maya asks square. I think we were heading... Yes, Masaryk Square. That's right. I think we'd worked our way down to this main road here and we were going inland. So we would have actually come across Tel Aviv City Hall at some point and this sort of major square. But there is Masaryk Square. So we were close. Excellent. Feel good about that. Next round. 2 to go. Look at these huge cranes here or bridge or something. That's just absolutely fantastic. We've got some informational pieces here as well, so that should help. Buenas noticlas de la Polenta, maybe. And look, we're on a big canal. Just going to get a grips with where the sun is. It's in the south, sort of quite clearly. So that puts us in Spain, as opposed to being in South America. And the main town kind of looks like it's on the other side of that river as well. Solo Puente Zubia. Is this Spanish? Zubia Izan Ezik. No, I don't think it is. Sorry. I stand completely corrected. This doesn't look like Spanish to me, which is a bit strange. What am I looking at here now? And we're coming to the coast, which is on to the north. Dan Bidea. I don't recognize any of these. Excepto Servicio Municipales. Udal Zerib Tuzuk Izan Izik. Goodness, I don't know. That is a hard one. Let's go the other way. There's a sign back there on the side. I think that might be a good clue. Goes without saying, I don't recognize the town. And so, I'm looking for clues here as to things like Bizkaya. I've never heard of Bizkaya. Oh, goodness. And the language I just don't recognize. It might be that we're in, because it's Spanish as well, I'm thinking we might be in the north of Spain, in the region where they speak, is it Catalan? Do we see Bizkaya there? Or is it over here? Bilbao? Ah, dear. I'm not sure. I think I'm in Spain. I've got 4 seconds left, so I'm not going to change my guess. We're on the coast somewhere, so I'm going to put us there. Oh, and we were on the wrong coast. Interesting. 2 different looking languages there, which I'm very unsure about. Perhaps there's something I'm missing. It's definitely a a bit confusing, but that's why at the end I was thinking that we might be in one of the regions that speaks Catalan. And I just don't know. Just don't quite know what I was looking at there. I'd have to look in a bit further. I suspect Bizkaya. This bay is the Bay of Biscay. So maybe, that's French. I associate that with being French, but of course, it might be the case that it's sort of referred to in Spanish as well. Of course. So yeah, not so sure about that one. That one was definitely a little less certain, but. Interesting. What on earth do we have here? Again, we're in a photosphere here, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to move, and this is going to be a tough one. Maximilian took this photo, and it certainly looks like a lovely place. I mean, really, this is quite something. My initial guesses were in Marrakesh, although I don't know why I say that. I've only been there once, and it was many, many years ago. But look, to the north, we've got a lot of mountains, and I associate these tiles and this coloured building and so on with Morocco. So let's get in there and see if we can find anything with Morocco. And I might make this sort of an early guess as opposed to a late one. Now, Marrakesh, zooming in there, we can see that the mountains are actually to the south, aren't they? Not the north, so that doesn't fit. But I'm not going to let that deter me yet. We might be surrounded. The sun is sort of firmly in the south, so that helps. And we can possibly make out some hills there in the far distance. So I'm not sure, but none to the north, or maybe some. Maybe some. I think Marrakesh is pretty low in terms of the skyline as well. I don't think that there's tall buildings or anything like that, and it sort of fits with the type of city that we're looking out onto here in terms of the planning element of it. It doesn't look sort of structured or like the cities in the US where there's clear roads and so on. It all looks a bit more higgledy-piggledy, and that would fit with this. So look, I don't feel to have too many clues here unless there's something obvious that I'm missing. So I'm just going to save us a minute and go for the guess. Yes, and would you look at that? We were bang close, actually, right in the middle of Marrakesh, 4999. That is a guess, and I think a pretty good one. So happy with that as a means to end the round. Well, look, 5 gorgeous locations there once again. Really enjoyed this one. Nova Scotia, Algeria, Israel, Spain, and Morocco. Definitely the one in Spain was a bit more confusing, but we've learned something new every day. So fantastic. Do hope you've enjoyed this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.